what it described as indecent scenes. So no female WWE wrestlers at the Saudi show, you know, and well, yeah, just goes to show where that could be coming across and how. I mean, this is what I'm talking about. You know, I know I started on this. I didn't want to go dive too much into this type of stuff, but you know, I do feel like if they're going to keep going back there for this, and you know, Triple H is on about, well, you know, we're going to try and bring the female competitors over. I just don't see it. I'm going to be totally honest with you. I do not see it. I don't think, this is just my take on it. I think if you're a company that is pushing women the way it is, and look, I talk about Ronda Rousey all the freaking time in this podcast, and Charlotte Flair, two of my favourites, and you know, me and Matt are talking about WrestleMania next year being an all-female main event for the first time. I think when we're in this mode, we got the biggest, arguably the biggest female attraction in sports entertainment and sport of Ronda Rousey now in the WWE. I don't know why WWE would think this is a good idea other than a financial gain, and that's all I can see this being. And it's a bitter pill to swallow, but it's one of those things, and it's a Triple H and Stephanie saying good for business, and I just think it's that, because I'm not sure that, you know, and listen, people agree or disagree. Like, the WWE is not the only entertainment industry to go to Saudi Arabia, and you know, by any stretch of the imagination, they're not the pedestal that we're going on here. But because, you know, you see it with entertainers, you know, you see, you know, like the likes of Beyonce goes out to Saudi Arabia, and you know, she'll perform for someone for the money, you know, turn up for somebody's wedding or what, as long as she's paid well. So like, it's not exactly exclusive only to this happening, but it happens in all kinds of stuff. So yeah, just for me, I just think it's a little bit disappointing that WWE at this time have chosen to do this. This has kind of come out of nowhere, I feel, because I read somewhere that they'd cancelled like house shows in Canada because this kind of creeped up so quick on them, and you know, they tried to put so much into it. And okay, you know, we know we have fans that listen, but you know, even a lot of the fans, which is, you know, whether you agree with it or don't agree with it, of this whole female thing and inclusion and all the rest of it, like a time in WWE where they're trying to make all these things match, like they're trying to be politically correct, they're trying to make every diversity, cut that out, you know, bring it into the WWE. You know, we see the guys wearing the attire. We've seen the females, you know, are much more respected and equal playing field as the guys now, and yet they then decide to go and do this. It is a little bit inconsistent. It does send, I think, mixed messages. That's just my opinion on it. Now, obviously, we have lots of listeners from you know, Saudi Arabia, and again, it is your country, and it is their country. So you know, we do have to abide by the laws. And now I'm not saying let's change the world, let's change your laws and all the rest of it. But I think from the WWE's point of view, I don't know that this does them any favours in the sort of publicity wise. I just don't see this doing them any favours. I do think it sends out wrong messages. I think there might have been a better way to get around this. And yeah, it's just, in one way, I tell you this much: if I was WWE, I would not have put this on pay-per-view. I just wouldn't have put it on pay-per-view. I would have had this as a Saudi Arabia exclusive, and it just goes for those fans, and it doesn't, the machine of WWE Network and all the rest of it, pay-per-views, you know, asking people to pay for this, you know, because it was a pay-per-view, by the way. It wasn't just a network exclusive. So yeah, I think they should have left that off. I just think they should have made it for Saudi Arabia. That's just my opinion on it. Let me know what you guys think. I'm not saying I'm right or wrong here by any stretch of the imaginations, but it's just what I think. Giving my thoughts, giving my opinion as we try to do on this podcast. Obviously, can't speak for Matt because he's not here, but obviously, on this podcast, myself and Matt, we're very much about diversity on this podcast, and since amazingly when we actually travelled to New York, that's actually one of our first podcasts we ever did, and one of the first things we ever spoke about, myself and Matt, was actually female wrestlers in like a way that I never thought I would have spoken about two female wrestlers, like having almost what I would say in class as one of the most perfect matches I'd seen in person. So where myself and Matt come from when we're talking about this, and when I'm talking about this anyway. But I can't speak for Matt because he's not here. But anyway, folks, a slightly edgy, political kind of episode, this one, unfortunately. Just a little bit difficult, this one. I felt it would be, but I felt like if we didn't talk about those things, I would have been doing a disservice, because I know it's there, it's going on, it's in the news, people are talking about it. So, on this podcast, as I said on the opening, we try and be transparent. We try and put our opinions across. We don't shy away from too much, I don't think. So, putting it out there. Again, at the end of the day, this whole thing for us, myself and Matt, is about fun. It's about enjoying the product of wrestling. That's all it is. We don't take ourselves too seriously in what we say and what we do. We just enjoy the product as fans. So, again, I think now we're past this, which is probably, for me, a good thing at this point. And hopefully going forward, you never know. Maybe things will change. I'm just not so sure they will. But it'll be good to get some of our listeners from all over the world, get your opinion on it, your voices about what you thought about it. Obviously, as far as wrestling goes, I thought it was a good show. I have no qualms about that. And it was great to see all the fans. If anything, I just wish that all the great fans that were sitting in the stadium were a little bit closer. Could have been closer and could have been ringside, because I just think it would have been such a better atmosphere and looking atmosphere. So that's just my take on it. For me, anyway. So yeah, folks, we've come to the end of the podcast. Hopefully, I have not bored the pants off you. Because I've been on my own on this one. Hopefully I've done an okay job. If not, I'm sure you're going to tell me about it. And we'll be back very, very soon. We'll probably be back for Backlash, the review of that. We're not going to do a preview, but we're going to definitely be doing a summary, at least, kind of part review of that. And don't forget, next month as well, we'll be here with No Holds Barred. Looking forward to that. Until then, folks, I've been John Scott. Thank you for listening. We'll see you next time.